Hello, my name is Oma, your host of Straight Talk with Oma. Straight Talk with Oma is an online magazine program that brings divergent opinion on the issues and matters around the world and in our society.
Hello. Hello, Ify, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. It's been but it's okay. Let me not even go to whether we are 1 year behind schedule or 5 minutes behind schedule. It's not necessary. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, loud and clear.
So it's good to, can you kind of up your audio? Can you up your volume? Mm.
Okay, I think it's up enough. Can you hear me right now? Is it clear enough?
I can hear you, but I want to let me find out from our guests whether they can hear you. Please, can you guys hear our special guest? Can you hear him? Hello, Lily. Hello, everyone joining. And those who have shared this live, thank you so much for sharing the live and thank you so much for being with us. So I'm sure they will tell us if they don't hear you properly. Prince.
Okay, I'm waiting.
All right. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to Straight Talk with Oma. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. It's always a delight to have you join us on our live programs. Thank you so much. And today is not anything outside what we do and what we do best. Today is an exciting day. Before we continue, I'd like to apologize for us starting behind schedule. Of course, staying at technical wahala. We had a little technical issue. So, but I'm happy that my guest is here and I'm looking forward to a fantastic conversation tonight. And also our viewers and friends and fans of Straight Up with Oma. Let me say hello to some of our guests already or our viewers already seated. Hello, hello, host, my darling Mercy, host of Peace Talk with Mercy. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you. This is what sisters do. Sisters support each other. They push each other's brand. They push each other's business, and together we will win. The sky is so wide, large to contain every one of us in our own special giftings and business. So I'm super delighted and thank you, my darling Mercy Ebute, host Peace Talk with Mercy, a fantastic girl doing incredible things. Welcome. Hello, Lily, our media assistant on Straight Talk with Oma. Lily, good evening and welcome. I'm sure you're ready to do your job and to do it how the best that you know how to do. You're doing a fantastic job, and I want to thank you. Hello, Ngo. Good evening, and welcome to Straight Talk with Oma. Welcome and welcome. And for many people that maybe because you have not made any comments, it's I've not been able to see you, but I'm super thankful that you are joining us today on this topic of our conversation. Yes, thank you, Mercy. Thank you so much. Okay, without wasting much of our time, because today we don't really have that much of time, I would like to say that the increased rate of ritual killings perpetrated by the younger population of Nigeria is at an alarming rate and of a great concern to all. The question is, how did this pseudoscience belief and its corresponding action sneaked into or sneaked back into our society in this 21st century when the other parts of the world are experimenting and advancing in technology? it's something worrisome, some anyway, like usual, when anything happens, especially when it permeates the social media atmosphere, we have all kinds of opinion on the matter. And so of course, already we have opinions here and there, and some unpopular but very strong ones saying that it is the Nollywood that has engineered and encouraged or elaborated the need for ritual killings for the purpose of money making. So we've had that opinion. Guys, so sorry, my get bros. Even if it takes you off, just come back. It's fine. That's the beauty of this platform.
Yeah, that's exactly what. Yeah, that's exactly what I just experienced. I don't know
Yes.
where that
So
is
you come
coming.
back. No, don't worry.
Okay,
It's the network that we have. So if it takes you off, please just come back.
I'm here.
And in case we are in a conversation and you don't see me, it means it has logged me out, but I will come back again. So just at that time, you will become both the host and the guest. So keep on talking.
No
Okay.
problem.
So, mm. So the unpopular opinions have accredited the propensity to the storylines of the Nigerian movie industry or the Nollywood. They say it's Nollywood. Nollywood is the problem, is the cause of all this issue around ritual killings. It is not a new thing. Ritual killing has been there. And like I had a conversation with someone yesterday, I said, except we're just trying to deceive ourselves. Ritual killings for money making, has been there for a long time. The issue of ritual killing has been there. Except we're just trying to fuff around. And of course, in our usual way, look for an alibi, somebody that we can peg it on their head to say, hey, this is the cause of my problem. Because I discovered that the major problem we have as Nigerians is our inability to take up responsibilities for our actions or for what is going on in our lives. As long as we can find a scapegoat, we can find somebody. It is either the government, or it is our uncle, or it is our great grandfathers, or it is something. It's so easy to shift the blame to somebody else other than, taking a back seat, looking at the issues and see where you as an individual has missed it and maybe make amends or own up to your response to your mistakes, and you can find a way to solve it. So it's always like that. And in this case, it wasn't surprising at all that a lot of people, the police in some quarters, some motivational speakers, some people somewhere accredited this or pushed the blame to Nollywood. And today, I think the very appropriate personality that should be on this show to talk about Nollywood, the impact of Nollywood in this regard. Is it Nollywood that has caused the upsurge in ritual killings for money purposes, or is there something going on somewhere? And so we have the very best of the best to talk about this matter today. My guest is none other but Prince Nwanze Joseph. Prince Nwanze is a filmmaker. A filmmaker. He is a writer, a super writer. In fact, I got to know this aspect of him not too far in time, that he writes. The guy is loaded, and these are the kind of people I want to be friendly with, so that I can keep on finding my writing skills. He's a writer, he's a producer, and he is the Secretary General of the Actors Guild of Nigeria, Abuja Chapter. He is the best that can be on this show today to talk for themselves. My mom said that it is only the tree that you can talk to and decide to kill the tree for a crime it's never committed, and the tree will be there waiting. So today I have Prince Nwanze Joseph, Secretary General, Actors Guild. of Nigeria as guest, Abuja Chapter as guest. Hello, Prince. Welcome to Straight Talk with Alma.
Thank you, Alma. I consider it a privilege to be on this platform today, on this conversation, and I am hoping to say some truth that will be acceptable by our people. You know, you talked about the police and the couple of persons accusing Nollywood. I must say, um, the same police officer,
Okay,
DSP Oyeyemi.
before you take on that aspect, can we start from the beginning? I would like you to tell me,
Okay,
as an
okay.
individual, what is your take on this obnoxious trend? You know, the Yahoo influenced ritual killings on the increase. You have heard of it, especially the case of the recent 17 years old girl that was murdered by, engineered by her boyfriend, boyfriend and his team. And again, there was another one in Ogun State where a lady was butchered in a hotel room. And a few years back, you know that there was this incident in Port Harcourt where a notorious ritualist was on a spree, killing. And I mean, he will go to the hotel, lodge in with different names, and kill his prayer and walk away until they caught him. So I don't have details of where he is right now. So what is your take on this recent upsurge?
Okay. I want to start by saying that anything that sounds good to the ears of a desperate man is worth a try.
Hmm.
You know, people are desperate. People are desperate and people are equally lazy. When
Hmm.
you crave for so much enjoyment and you do not have the willingness to work towards achieving that level of enjoyment, anything that sounds like, Ponzi schemes, ritual, whatever it is, they will quickly get hold on it. And before you know it, a lot of people who don't understand how people think will begin to look for where to accuse. Poverty is a major cause because poverty is actually one of the reasons why this level of desperation that we're witnessing today is in the society. Okay, so ritual killings for money and for power is a story we've heard over time. It's something we know that have been there, with us in the African society. Um, it's just unfortunate the spike at this time. Not that it has not been there. It's unfortunate. I do not support it. I condemn it. Its entirety.
Okay, so maybe you should tell
Okay,
us, do
that
you,
will be that for me.
yes, so you can continue with your other line of thoughts, or maybe you want me to ask you the next question on that.
Okay. Okay. I was going to say that the same DSP, who is the police public relations officer, Ogun State Command, DSP Oyeyemi, just few days after he pointed accusing fingers at Nollywood for being behind this menace, 2 days ago arrested a student of a polytechnic in Ogun State. And what was her offense? She bought pregnancy testing kit from a pharmacy shop and contraceptives. And this man thinks she should have doctor's prescription to before buying that. As I speak with you, she was detained for more than 48 hours. Even the
Wow.
pharmacy, the person who sold it to her in the pharmacy shop was equally arrested. So I don't
Wow.
know. This is a police that is, if our police is intelligence driven, I don't think they should, waste their time on things like this. Rather than find out how to stop these boys from continuing on this killing spree. That's what I think. Okay, so that would be it on this.
Wow. 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 So people need um, um Prince, I think your other phone is the volume is high, so it's kind of giving me a echo from your end, I think so.
There's no other phone here. Every other phone is far away from me, and I'm not even using them.
Okay. All right. So let's look at Nollywood. Nollywood and the burden of this new trend. Considering that Living in Bondage was the movie that shot Nollywood into limelight in 1992-93.
Yeah,
So let's look
correct.
at Nollywood and the burden of this new trend. Why do people think, why do you think people will think that Nollywood is the cause? Because the very first movie that
Okay,
dealt
first
on
of
the
all,
issue. Wow.
okay, first of all, I want to say that these boys, these teenagers that are engaging in this killing spree right now, were not born as at the time Living in Bondage was released in 1993. That's one. Secondly,
Exactly.
um, Living in Bondage did not promote ritual killing. Living in Bondage condemned ritual killing. If you saw what Andy, Kenneth Okonkwo, and every other person that led him into that stuff went through, I don't think you want to go through all that. Okay, so who would want to accuse Living in Bondage or movies for being the reason? I haven't seen a movie that promoted ritual without showing the repercussion in the end. Okay, so I don't think it's about Living in Bondage. I don't think it's about any Nollywood movie. The truth is that people are desperate, and poverty is the cause of that desperation. Truth is that where poverty is holding people, down, that they can't find anything to do, they must devise a means of
Guys, I think, I don't know, can you hear me, guys? Is it my network or that of our guest? Oh my God, it's always like that. Hello, guys. If you can hear me, please. Is it my network or that of my guest? Ah, okay. Okay. So, guys, please leave me your comments. So, according to our guest, Prince Joseph, he said that people, because of poverty, there is a heightened desperation all over the place. So, people do everything because of desperation. Welcome back.
thank you, I'm here.
So,
Okay,
go
the truth
ahead.
is, um, yes, the truth is almost every one of us has gone through poverty in one way or the other. We've all experienced it. But the
Hmm.
difference is how I reason. You know, the problem is, if I can be if I understand the internet so well that I think I could defraud somebody, I could go into cybercrime. Why don't I go into ethical hacking in a positive way. Why don't I use it to see if I could get into the ICT world? I will make more money legitimately than the person who has to hide and do stuff that shouldn't even be done in the first place. Okay, so I'm not saying that the people engaged in this are the only people that have seen poverty. No, but it's about mindset. Poverty has made people desperate, and those who don't think positively are looking for shortcuts. Some people are not ready to suffer, they are not ready to work. All they want is money. Okay, so that would be that for now.
So you don't think there is a correlation between the ritual theme movies or ritual killings, killing theme movies, and the current trend?
No,
You
no, no,
don't
no.
think so?
I don't see at all. Otherwise, I will ask you. At some point, it was all about love in Nollywood movies. You know, those days of Genevieve, Ramsey Noah, Meke Ike, Omotala Jalade, and why are people not? Why are we not loving so much? Why are we not loving so much? You know, why do we wait for Valentine's Day to commit immorality rather than love ourselves? Why didn't we put those movies into work? Why are we not loving so much? We have had more love stories in Nollywood than ritual films. So
Mm, mm. So my guest is saying, mhm.
okay, I want to reiterate again that these ritual films don't promote ritual, they condemn ritual. They condemn ritual killing for money. Because in the end, you will see that man fall from top to bottom. You see him fall from grace to grass. You suffer the movies lessons. They are meant to educate. And I don't know why people would take that element of education away from it and then just latch on the ones they think are wrong. I cannot connect Nollywood films to what is currently going on.
But you know that the one of the guys in, I think one of in Ogun State, is it Ogun or any other, I think maybe not Ogun, that said that he learned how to go on kidnapping, or he learned kidnapping from Zubi Michael's movies.
Okay, Zubi Michael's movies. And
And that
again, the
he learned
question,
it from, that Zubi Michael was is a very good kidnapper, or was it, in the movies he had seen, was a very good kidnapper, and that he
yes,
learned all the skills from that. Isn't that enough indictment on Nollywood?
at the end of the day, what happened? Okay, sorry, I'm here. Okay, now
Okay, so go ahead.
Zubi, Zubi is a fantastic actor, right? So
Mhm.
he plays those characters as though they are real. But at the end of the day, what happens to the character Zubi portrays as kidnapper in those movies? And their consequences. Why are these persons not thinking of the consequences? Again, let me remind you, the young boy, 17 years old, with his friends that killed his girlfriend and cooked, boiled her head. He said he learned how to do ritual from Google. That he went to Google, he asked, and he got instructions on how to go about it. Okay, so um, that wasn't Nollywood Gogo. So I don't know if we should also attribute that one to Nollywood. It's funny, but I'm pained that we're going through all this. Okay, so it's unfortunate. It's just unfortunate.
I was talking with someone. I said it's funny how people can say a thing like this, that somebody watched a movie and that is the movie storyline that enabled the person to go ahead and do this kind of things. And I ask a question. I say, so who do we hold? Which movie industry do we hold responsible for banditry, for for terrorism? Do we hold Hollywood responsible, or are we exonerating Hollywood, or did we also learn that from Nollywood? Do you think Hollywood should also be held responsible or be accused in this regard?
Okay, Omar, if artists what they see in Hollywood movies, um, considering the number of war films and crime fiction movies that Hollywood has produced, I guess by now Americans would have finished, as in there will be nobody left. And then you want to talk about the Chinese, his character here and there, monkey shadow, neck and monkey shadow, and all of that. If this, if if this, if the Chinese are to go by that, what it means is that a Chinese man will see you on the road and start a fight. Okay, so I don't know why our own is not different, for crying out loud. We are people. We are making movies based on our culture and the stories around us. We have so many mythical stories in Africa. I don't even I'm not even sure of this ritual thing whether it actually works. Because the native doctors who supposedly lead them in this process are all poor people. So why don't they do for themselves and get rich as well? I don't get it. I don't get it. To me, it still sounds like a myth. But I believe people are gullible, and as a result, are willing to try anything out.
So let me ask this question. The the ritual killings or themed movies that Nollywood produces, are they fictions or maybe stories that they have heard, things that have happened in the past, you know?
Okay. Yes. For now, Nollywood we are yet to start doing fiction. Okay. Africa has a lot of stories. For now, we are still doing true life stories and some mythical tales that we do not know whether they are true or false. Okay.
Mm.
All we know is we heard about them and we think okay, we think they make sense to form a movie story. Whether they actually happened or not, we do not know. But we pick
Mm.
them up and we make a movie. For instance, there is this belief that, while we were growing up, that if you laugh at somebody based on the person's condition, you become like that person. Okay, if you haven't you tried laughing at Dangote, Otedola, Adenuga, so that you inherit their condition. I I have I have done that. Okay, so I don't know why each time I'm laughing at Dangote, it is maybe the nature of an Okada man that is even coming my way. Why am I not speaking on Dangote's condition? So
I've been trying to
I
laugh
think
at Theodora. I've been laughing at Theodora Okoko for a long time so that I can look as slim as she looks. I have been calling her
okay,
name and been laughing at her. And I've not been able
okay.
to look like I've not been able to lose. Instead, I'm looking like them kind of Sandra, them like as if they are molding blocks on my body.
Okay. So I think Nollywood movies are actually influenced by true life stories and of course myths. That's what influences Nollywood movies. We are not doing fictions yet. America, Hollywood does fiction. The Iron Man, the Spider Man, you know. Yet nobody has turned to iron in America.
Hmm. Okay, let's go more real. Let's go more real. Do you, in all honesty, think that Nollywood has not contributed to this? Maybe not the originator, not the uh, creator of this awareness, but maybe of this reality rather, but maybe has contributed to a certain extent to this culture.
Um, okay. I don't believe that Nollywood has contributed at all. Let me tell you where our problem lies. The number one contributor are parents. Every movie produced by Nollywood indicates the age that should not see it and the age that should see it. Most of these boys are below 18. They are
Hmm.
not supposed to see ritual films. That is number one. But parents are not doing the right thing. Do you know that you find 5 years old kids using pads and expensive phones bought by their parents with no parental control? Do you know that 90% of Nigeria parents are not aware that there is something called Google Kids, which should be Google Kid, yes, which should be the Google type in those pads and phones, so that these children don't click on some things that will pop up thinking he was an adult. So the truth is that parents are busy, Oma, providing labor, working hard and providing for their children. But in the actual sense, they are
Okay,
not training their children.
Francis, let's try to get this caller. I hope we can hear her.
Okay, good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening. We can hear you.
Okay, I want to say something.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I want to say that parents are not really doing the right thing. We have some movies that are rated 18, 15, 17, and above. But I quickly want to say that if working in the schools, you see these film sellers in their stores. They bring their big television, hide and put all kinds of movies. And you see these children coming back from school, traveling or branching off to watch the film. What can the Nollywood, what can Nollywood actually put out to these people? Sanction. What can they be sanctioned? That is my question.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Francis, did you hear
I
what
heard
he
that.
said?
Now, what I didn't get the question, but I heard every other thing.
She said, what can Nollywood do to sanction these people? Because I think I've also seen it where you, especially in the remote areas, you see them put television outside playing either blue films, or some kind of adult movies, and you see children standing by watching. I should say, what can Nollywood do in that regard? I don't know if that falls within the scope of Nollywood or something. I don't know.
I don't. It's not the responsibility of Nollywood. I can't come into your house and decide what your children should see. I cannot meet your child on the street and decide whether that child is old enough to see certain things or not. It is. It's not about force. It's not about coercing them. It's about training them to know what is right and what is wrong. Okay, maybe if we are to assign that responsibility to any agency, it should be National Orientation Agency. But again, I must say that 70% of that responsibility must go to parents. Oma, there are parents who don't spend up to 2 hours with their kids in every 24 hours. They are working hard to better the lives of these children. They are working hard to bank billions for them, to buy properties everywhere for them. But you are not thinking about the character molding of that child. You are not thinking about whether this child is going to be able to handle the wealth that you're putting in place, or the child will get hooked on drug and everything you labored for will go down the drain in a matter of months or years. I know a guy who the family brought back from the United States in the month of October. By November, he was given a bungalow, a car, and 65 million naira to settle and establish himself in Nigeria. If he, by February, that's 3 months later, this guy was not having up to 5,000 naira. So, what do you say about such a person? Where did it start from? Could it be that the parents did not lay the right foundation at the very beginning? And it's difficult. You cannot build before you start laying foundation. The foundation has to come first. Okay, then again, we will also not exonerate our government. Institutional failure is another strong thing. People are suffering. Inflation is going high. Purchasing power is going down. So people are looking for means of survival. You know, you can't say this one must take the entire blame. No. Government must share from that. Okay, I don't know. I'm pained. I'm pained because the people that are being killed and are being killed are people's children as well.
Yes.
Okay, so if we're talking about ritual, what you mentioned, what about banditry? What about terrorism? What about kidnapping for ransom? What about prostitution? What about armed robbery? Would you also connect all this to Nollywood? If you look at it properly, poverty is at the center of them all. Poverty is at the center of them all. Because Nigerians are suffering and there is no place to run to. Or when you don't get what you expect, those who are desperate will look for it from some other means. Okay, so we need to improve parenting and we need to take responsibility for whatever our children are doing or whatever they become. That's my take.
I truly agree with you on parental failure. You know, I remember during Big Brother, we go through Big Brother reality show. We go through this emotion.
Okay.
You see parents coming to say, ban Big Brother, ban this, ban this. They are teaching our children. And my question has always been, DSTV has parental control button.
And other channels for children.
This program, Big Brother, has a rating. It is
Okay.
rated 18, Abi 20.
Okay, the
How
same
can a
the same
child?
decoder, the same decoder that is showing you Big Brother can show you Cartoon Network. Why don't
Exactly.
you go to Cartoon? Wwhy not tune
So
to
how
Cartoon
can,
Network?
when somebody will say, my children, they are corrupting our children, and I'm wondering, okay, recently, Higher West and his wife are having issue. And the guy said, you cannot allow my child to be on TikTok.
Okay.
And I kind of buy his position. See,
Okay.
there is so much restrictions on Facebook, but on TikTok and Snapchat, there is no restriction. And what people are doing
Mhm.
on those two apps, it is that these
You're
apps
very
are
right.
dog eats
You're
dog.
very, very right.
And so tomorrow you blame
Okay.
TikTok or you blame Snapchat. So the issue is still comes back to parental control or parental failures. People now let me tell you one of the I'm not making for Nollywood, but I'm saying I have heard things and I have seen things. I know that in some part of the Igbo land, I'm an Igbo girl, full time, but I want to use my experience to say we have parents who are forcing their children, female children who do not have a job, to build a house for them. Others asking their
Okay.
daughters to build a house for them.
Ify,
And my
are you
question,
aware that
where is this girl going to find money to build you a house and buy you a car? And you force it, and these ladies are practically running helter-skelter to make up money to be able to build a house for the parents, buy cars for the mother. And I'm like, where do you work? Nobody is asking that. In my growing up time, my mom will kill you. Come back home with a dress, come back from school with a singlet that my mom did not buy.
okay?
You
Can I quickly
Amazon.
respond to Lillian? Lillian Chinetugo Briggs. She's talking about setting up an agency that should, take care of some of these anomalies. Lillian, there is already an agency. The problem is it is not working. National Orientation Agency is there. We don't need another one, but it should work. Okay. I think another big problem, another thing that is contributing so much to this is the failure of social justice system.
Exactly.
Social justice system, I don't want to go too much into it, but one aspect of it is equal opportunity. The poor man does not have opportunity anywhere. You have difficulty in accessing even government institutions, including schools. Okay, so that for me is a very big problem. Then another big challenge where I want to, possibly round up is we live in a society that does not ask questions. Our society don't question anything. If you make a lot of money and you make donation to religious organizations, faith-based organizations, they don't ask where your money is coming from. If they praise you, they pray for you for prosperity and that. That God should replenish you in million folds. Now, if you are a kidnapper, they are praying that your next 1 million attempts at kidnapping should be successful. That's what it means. Now, you go to your house, to your family, your parents become loyal to you. Have you noticed that parents are becoming loyal to their children? Because the child made money. Nobody is questioning the source of that money. You go to communities, they confer you with any title of your choice. Because you came back with big cars, you're building a big house, you're probably doing one little project in the community. Nobody wants to know how you made that money. you have become a role model to all their children. They are praying and wishing that their children will be like you. Nobody is going to question the source of that money. Few years ago, when Rooney, a Manchester United footballer, was playing very well, much younger then, was living a very reckless life, there were times when he went to the house of to a brothel and spent 2 days with prostitutes and all of that. Then on Children's Day, celebrities were coming out. When a celebrity comes out to a certain location, children will come choose who their role model is, who they want to emulate in life. When Rooney came out, parents withdrew their children because of his lifestyle. How many of us in Nigeria would do that? How many parents in Nigeria will look at somebody and say, as rich as he is, I don't want my child to toe this line? So these are some of the problems we have. Parents are mounting pressure on their children to become what they are not supposed to be, to become who they are not prepared to be. So it's all about government, institutional failure. It's all about parental failure of parenting. Omar, one more thing just before I let you go on. I saw a child, 9 years old, 8 years old, a girl child. She
Can you
had
just
a
keep it?
tab, just returned from
Brother Prince Joseph, can you put a tab on? Let me speak to Prince Francis Chilaka. Prince,
Okay.
Prince Joseph, I just put his comment there. But Prince Chilaka, I have sent you an invite inbox. I don't mind you joining us because you are still maintaining the fact that Nollywood, by your write-up, Nollywood is invariably, you're saying Nollywood is responsible for promoting money rituals. So, Prince Chilak, I've sent you an invite. Please join me.
Okay, I've read his comments, and I think he is saying the same thing that a lot of people have said already. Truth is, there are other channels on that TV set. Tune to Cartoon Network. You don't have to watch African Magic Epic. It's not a must. Okay, so I was talking about an 8-year-old girl. I saw her holding a tab, and I saw in that tab that she was watching nude pictures. Jesus. And I asked her, what is this? Naked pictures? And she laughed. You know what she said to me? Say, uncle, it's not nakedness, it's nudity. What that simply means is that she does not understand that they are one and the same. So some of our big brothers and sisters, some of our parents are not aware that their children are watching pornography in their houses. They are hooked on pornography, and parents are the ones buying the data for that. So it's unfortunate.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you, Lillian. Thank you so much.
So is there an end to this?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Okay, there is an end to it. There is an end to it. Everybody must share, all hands on deck. Everybody must do something to end this. One, parents must understand that your number one duty is to train the child, mold the character of the child, not provide for the child. Okay. If parents take that responsibility, then social justice system must be improved by government. Equal opportunity. Those who went to school should find job. If there are openings in CBN, you don't reserve it for the children of the highly placed individuals. It must cut across the best brains. People who qualify for it should get it. Okay, so we must improve our institutions of learning. Then the religious organizations must preach morality. You know, they have exchanged morality and salvation message with prosperity. That is a very big problem. So the church, the mosque must play a role in this. Then, of course, Nollywood must continue, you know, to do to make movies that have high moral content. At the same time, okay, make good movies for children that children can watch. At the same time, whenever a ritual movie is made, let the consequences on the ritualist be well pronounced. I think if we put all this together, in few years from now, we will have a better society. I must say again that it will be difficult to completely erase this, except we're able to reduce poverty to the barest minimum. That is the truth. Poverty
Prince
is the
Joseph.
number one breed of this whole thing.
Prince, when Living in Bondage came out in
I'm here.
1992, when it came out in 1992, we were in secondary school, and things were not better than it was to, or it is today, or they are today. Things were terribly difficult for some of us. We were in abject poverty while going to school. Some of us were very beautiful, but then we didn't even know what to do. We were in abject poverty. We were in school, in secondary schools, and the rate of this, or this penchant desire for material things were not like that then. We knew that we have to work hard to get to where we want to go to. I can still remember when I had my first human hair. I can still remember when I bought something that is so expensive for myself. And all this happened during when I started working. So now we cannot just. Why is it different now? Why is it different? We can't keep blaming the government, say the government. Is it or the parents, the individuals? What is wrong? What is wrong? Because we had the likes of Ego them, had the likes of Chinyere them, who were all Kanayo and Kenneth Okonkwo, all their girlfriends then. We had them, but that didn't make some of us go berserk in our drive for material things. So when Prince Chilaka, when you say the youth follow what they see without asking questions, I kind of find it very funny, because we saw those movies then. We saw the first Living in Bondage part 1. We saw part 2. We saw many other movies. Why didn't people at that time, the youth at that time, why didn't we all go into ritual killings? Why didn't we take up? Yes, Lillian.
Okay, I don't know if we can call in as many times as we can.
Please go ahead. The guest is off. I can take you.
To agree with you and also our guest in saying that parents really have a lot of work to do in the lives of their children. Sometimes when people talk, you leave the children early, you go, I feel attacked. But also I don't feel attacked because I leave my house after 5 to 6 in the morning. Before then, I must have discussed with the children in the night. I don't shift my responsibility to the children alone or to their father. Because even the Bible has recorded that if anything goes wrong in the lives of the children, the mother particularly is to be blamed. And I want to go back to when I was growing up. Like you said, living in bondage came out. We were watching and all those stuff, and we're even still afraid.
Yes.
Because our parents are there, they are cautioning you, they are talking to you, they are telling you, look, in fact, if a boy touches you, you're pregnant, you do this, you will die, you do like this, and all those stuff. We were listening to them more than today. They were in it, they were part of us, we were part of them. Look, I got pregnant as a teenager, and that was the first time I had sex. That was the first time, and I got pregnant. Why am I bringing this? I ran away from the house because I knew my mother would kill me. I got into hiding for 6 months. My mother was looking for me helter-skelter until when she found out where I was staying. The day she came with my dad and my siblings, it's like the can should open for me to enter. If it is today, you will see, because that togetherness is no longer there. Parents leave the children, they don't talk. You even correct the child, the parent is shouting at you. Are you okay? Why are you talking to my child like that? Are you feeding her? Are you feeding him? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? Those days it was not like that. My mom had to, with that pregnancy 6 months, she beat Shaggy out of me. People were holding her and all those things. And at the end of the day, that fear in me never allowed me to go back to that part again. I determined with all in me and with her encouragement to become the little I am today, and I'm going forward. And I tell you, I inculcate that culture in the lives of my children and people around me. The people around us, even the children we see that are going astray, what do we do? Do we talk to them or do we leave them? Recently, I saw a teenager near my house, and her movement was suspicious. Me, I came out and said, come, my friend, what are you doing here? And I later found out that a guy also carried her, and I went back. If you don't go back now, I'm going to call the police. Carry this girl inside your house and sleep with her. I'm going to raise alarm. I'm going to call the police. What do? We see children and we just allow them to go astray. Just holding on to our own. That one not concern me. If anything happens to an mama concern her, this and that. We need to stand up for one another. We need to bring these children and stop blaming Nollywood, Bollywood, Gollywood, and whatever wood in what is happening in the lives of the children presently. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for calling in, Lily. Thank you so much. Amazing contribution. You heard her, Prince. You heard her.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Prince, did you hear our last
Yeah.
caller?
In those days, if you get pregnant outside wedlock, it is referred to as unwanted pregnancy. But do you know what has happened? If you get pregnant now, yes, I heard that. I said in those days, pregnancy outside wedlock is referred to as unwanted pregnancy. But now what it is that it comes with celebrity status. You become baby mama, automatically a celebrity. Okay, so these are some of the problems that we have. We have glorified evil, and it's difficult. Like I said, parents has work to do. The government has work to do, and we equally have work to do. Even social media, you cannot blame, because if you don't install Instagram on your phone, the Instagram will not be there. if you find out that you have all those social media apps and your children often play with your phone, you can lock them. You can put a password on them that your child cannot, and restrict your child from accessing them. You understand? So, but we leave everything open to our kids, and then we expect them to turn out not. But so, a lot of children in Nigeria today, their characters are. That is the truth. That is the children He gave us. We are what Bible said is train up a child the way he should go. He didn't say provide for the child only. Okay.
Matters
Oma,
arises.
thank you.
Matters arises still from the last caller. You know, I also heard.
Okay. Oma, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me? I can hear you. Can you hear me? So sorry, viewers and fans. So sorry, the network is I think it's a bit bumpy. Anyways, I heard from the last caller the issue of communal contribution in the
Hello,
upbringing
Oma.
of the
Are you
child.
there?
Hmm? Yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Okay, so
Okay.
I heard
Communal
from,
contribution to the
yes,
upbringing
because
of
from
the
her,
child.
it means, yes, but now it's no longer the same. So how can that come back? How can we bring back the communal participation in upbringing of a child? Because in Igbo land, you know that we say that one
Mm,
person does not claim hold to a child. So every child in the
yeah.
village is a communal child. If you misbehave, you will receive the correction there before your parents will even hear it. But
Okay.
now, like she said, you can't even touch anybody's child. In my organization where I work, you will see a boy of or a girl of 18 years who came there for internship. You will enter the lift with them and nobody says hello or good morning or anything.
Okay.
But we turn back
Um,
and blame social media and blame Nollywood.
okay. Oma, that era is behind us, and it's not possible to get back to it. I'm
Wow.
being very factual with you. I'm being blunt here. Um, in the US, your child will call the police on you if you spank them. So here in Nigeria, you can still spank your own child, but there's a limit to how much you can control the child of another person. Otherwise, you get into trouble. Yes, we'll keep trying. We'll keep trying. I'm not saying we shouldn't try at all. But the truth is that that era is behind us. It is no longer practicable because the parents will tell you you don't know how we are training them. So I think every parent should take responsibility for the upbringing of their child, especially in the area of character molding. Okay, then government should do what they are supposed to do, and we take it from there. And of course, society should discourage certain things. Be able to speak out when you can. Don't spank. Speak if the person is not your child. And we hope as we continue to communicate the truth, someday things would adjust.
Wow. Well, Prince, I had wanted to ask you for your final word, but then you took the bull by the horn. You went ahead of me, and it's fantastic. Thank you so much for making our time. amidst your very tight schedule to be on Straight Up with Oma. This is an honor that we will not forget soon. I don't think we will forget, anyways. And we would like to ask that you keep your doors open. You're such an interesting personality, an interesting guest. We would like to call you again on other burning social issues when the time comes. We wish you the fantastic evening and a successful schedule and business that you are wherever you are doing at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. 14th is my birthday, so maybe I'll be celebrating on Straight Talk with Oma.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just saying that to say it's equally a privilege, and you've just given Nollywood a platform to speak in defense of herself and contribute to um, making the society better. And I want to thank you for the privilege extended to me and to Nollywood, and to everybody who contributed. I I saw you and I saw your contributions. Thank you for being positive and unbiased. My friend and colleague, my brother, Kilani Justice, my justice, I saw you. Susan Abaji, I saw you. Messi Ebute, my friend. Lillian, I saw you. Ngozi Okonko, my sister in Christ, I saw you. It's just wonderful having this, spending this little time with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Prince. Thank you so much. And from all of us here, it's a happy birthday in advance. I hope we'll be able to celebrate you on that day. We'll give you a shout out. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
And have a good
Yeah.
evening. I will remove you any moment from now. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh my God. Thank you, everyone. Yes, Sandra. Yes, it's so pathetic how the younger ones are building up bad characters. During my time, it is a taboo to even look at your elder eye to eye. I agree. Because, like I said, in our time, Sandra, we were in secondary school when Living in Bondage came out. By that, we saw how the clothes that or the dresses that Rita Anzelo, what's her name, ego them, and all of them were wearing at that time. I mean, in the movie, and how their hair and everything. But that didn't persuade us to misbehave, because our parents were doing their jobs. I remember the day my elder sister had her hair done, braids, these long braids. I've shared this with maybe Sandra, with you or somewhere. She had these long braids, and we were living in Massacre then. My elder sister came back from TTC, Zuba, and felt that because she had done long Bob Marley with beads, she cannot go and fetch water. She cannot go and bring back water from the Regia, from well. And so she camped in her room because she's not a big girl. She can't fetch water. She can't carry water on her head. I could remember, I mean, it's so vivid what my mom did to her that day. That hair was scraped, as in Malams came to barb that hair. And that was the last day my elder sister ever attempted that, not to go and do what she was asked to do. I remember my elder brother, when he came back from the university, then he was studying chemical engineering. He came back, and of course, because he entered, everybody calls him from year one. He's a engineer. And he came to Massacre, to that small restaurant that my mom was running at that time in Massacre. He refused to. I mean, somebody called one of the people eating at the restaurant, asked him for, "Hello, are you Madam Blessing's son? Please, I need water. Give me water to drink." The man was eating, and my elder brother felt, because he was studying engineering, and so he can't do anything. He can't answer anybody. Big man, engineer. He refused. And then when my mom walked into the store, the man told my mom, "Is this boy not your son? I have asked him to give me water and he refused. He didn't even answer me. My brother was eating." My mom quietly went and brought water for that man and turned to my brother, carried the fufu, the pounded yam, placed on his head, carried the egusi soup mixed with okra or bono, arranged him too. The whole substance went to his head. And my mom said, "This is where I pay your school fees from." That was the end of it. Nobody needs to call you to order in my house. Now, I'm not saying that you have to, parents have to train their children like we were trained. I'm not saying that parents will have to employ the same technique that our parents employed. But I'm saying that instead of shifting the blame to someone, we are so good in trying to look for somebody that we can say is the reason why we are not progressing. This is this person, is my uncle, is my aunt, is my, they didn't give me money. If my parents had trained me well, if my parents had done this, if my husband had done that, if my wife had done this, if this person had done this, if that person had done this. So we are constantly looking for someone, going somewhere, pushing blames to people instead of sitting back to look at what have I done, which area have I failed, what do I need to do to improve. Like he said, you can ban social media, or you can ban Nollywood from making movies, or ritual movies, or any other theme movies. But to what extent are you banning your children from accessing TikTok and Snapchat? Facebook is not exciting because of the numerous restrictions, but TikTok has no restriction. Snapchat has no restriction. I was shocked to my bone marrow yesterday in a conversation when someone told me what's going on TikTok. The level of obscenity going on there. I didn't know that you could make so much money from TikTok and Snapchat. I didn't know that you could just, I as a lady, I could just be in my house and decide that I'm no longer going to work. I will resign from my work and sit in my house and be cashing out every day, just being naked. I didn't know that. Just being naked. It will just require me to create an account, change my name, get an account with a different name, and just be cashing out. Because people will pay, even women will pay to see my body, to see this body, to see me naked. People are paying people are making money. So are you going to stop your children, that a 12-year-old child that you have given a tablet, you load more than 50 GB for them every month, and they are there watching all kinds of things? Now, if you put Nollywood to blame, you watch all these other foreign movies, your children watch them. They follow some of these people on Twitter, on TikTok and Snapchat. Exactly. So are you going, to what extent are parents blaming, or anybody going to blame TikTok? I was joking with someone that I will soon leave Facebook because it's boring. Where the action is TikTok and Snapchat. And that is where our children are. They are not on Facebook. How many of these our children watch Nollywood movies? They are on TikTok and they are on Snapchat. Big Brother Nigeria will come. We will hear kata 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 kata. We will blame Big Brother, blame everybody, Big Brother for teaching our children. And my question will always be, why would your children be watching Big Brother? It is rated 18. Why should your child be awake to watch Big Brother? When these children can watch cartoon, they have all kinds of cartoon networks. May God help us. And truly, as straight up with Oma, our condolences are with the families of the 70 years old girl and all the people that have been killed for ritual money purposes. We truly share in your grief, and we pray that the souls of these departed will rest in peace. And we are, appealing to the public to please speak, report any, like Lillian said, she had to report that. She had to, confront the man and say, if you take this small girl into your house, I will raise an alarm, I will call the police. We sit in this era of mind your business, face your front. We just sit down and we see things that are not proper going on around our vicinity, and we're not saying anything. Can we be more of our brother's keeper? Can we just be more compassionate towards the next person? Towards people, the children. If you see a child that is not doing right, you can talk to the child, like our guest said. Be very polite and speak to the child, or get to the parents and speak to. And parents, don't always shut people up when they want to tell you some things about maybe what they have noticed. I don't think we should shut people up. We should just say, hey, don't mind your business, leave my child. No. Let's give a little space to even hear them. I believe that when people are talking to me, I know when someone is talking to me out of love and or care, and I know when someone is talking to me out of their own envy or jealousy or anything, or in a bid to put me down. I know the difference. So let's be a little bit accessible, both to people and to their opinion concerning our words and our children. Concerning our children. And let's stop blaming Nollywood. You can ban Nollywood today, but you cannot ban TikTok. You cannot ban Snapchat. These are where it's happening. Nothing is happening even on television. Nothing is happening on television. Parents, nothing is happening on television. Nothing is happening on Nollywood. Nothing is happening on African Magic Epic or African Magic Showcase or nothing is happening there. Where the thing is happening is TikTok and Snapchat. You can hear me or you may not hear. That is okay. But that is where it is happening. That is where your children are being taught. They are watching pornography there. They are watching live sex on TikTok and Snapchat. They are paying money to enter into people's parlors on TikTok and Snapchat to see nude nakedness and masturbation. They are watching it there. We can pretend all we want to pretend, push the blame to Nollywood, do everything, but Nollywood is not our problem. Parents, take care of your children. There is the need for attitudinal change. Every one of us is as guilty as the other person. There is the need for attitudinal change. Parents must wake up to their responsibilities. Parents must wake up to check what their children, especially the children that are within the age of 6 and 17 to 18. Take some random checks on the phone, the tablet, that you bought for your children. Take some random checks. You will be amazed. Go through their TikTok account and see what's going on. And we also will also pray that Nollywood will, the area I have challenge with Nollywood. I just remembered now. Unfortunately, our guest is no more here, but I'm sure he's listening or he will watch this part. The another area that I have a challenge with Nollywood is when you make a movie of a ritual movie or any other movie, a man killing everybody in the family. When you make that movie, don't let that man, don't just leave him on that killing spree or leave that ritualist so until 2 minutes to the end of the movie. You will now come and put the lesson. At that time, not many people will have patience to even see the lesson or have patience to, understand the lesson that you want to teach, because you had exhausted 90 minutes allowing a man to be killing everybody in the family for 90 minutes, and 3 minutes to the end of the movie, you now tell us where he's dying. Mbano. Cut short his wickedness. And truly, I will not blame you, because in real life, that's what's going on. You see an evil man, somebody is wicked, he will collect the money of everybody. Oh, he will just be wicked. Oh, and a little thing, they said they are confessing. Mrs. Metiko, stop laughing. I'm serious. So Nollywood would need to adjust the time. They need to share their time appropriately. When a man is busy, Mazi Okeke is busy killing. Don't just leave only 2 minutes. Don't just leave 2 minutes to the end of an hour 30 minutes movie. You will now leave us an hour 25 minutes, and that small 5 minutes he will now be doing. I am the one responsible for this version. Give me, and he's dead. And he's saying that the lesson, there's no lesson there. Oh God, this program, I didn't want it to be. It's not supposed to be funny. Truly, I'm really angry. Yes. And you see an old woman dealing with her children because they cannot, her first son is not producing anything. Her first son is poor. Yes, special son. So she will deal with her first son. Then fortune will turn for the first son. Fortune turns around for the first son, and you will not see one uncle somewhere will not come. I am the reason for it. Then everybody will be crying. I'm the reason for this. Just 2 minutes to the end of the movie. And they don't tell us again what. Okay, if that man has repented, we need to see him live like another 30 minutes in that movie, suffering. You got to go. Even if he's going to go to jail, we need to, like, Zubi Michael will be killing people, will be doing Makwanda will kidnapping. And then just a little 5 seconds to the end of the movie, they will, and that 5 seconds is both the end notes and the credits. Meaning 2 seconds to the end of that particular movie, the storyline, they will just shoot him. He will not, and he's dead. And so you see, people will not, that kind of retribution or that kind of punishment makes no meaning. That kind of punishment, Nollywood, that kind of punishment will not make too much meaning. Or a man will leave his wife and go and faff around with other women, finish all his money. His wife will be suffering in the village with the children. And tomorrow now, he will not have Pashoko or Yebroria. Then they will not bring him to the village. By then, that other new woman had gone with everything he has made. Hey, Prince, thank you for listening. Yes, I'm serious. So Nollywood should apportion. I'm so sorry, I forgot this part of it. I really wanted to talk about it with you. Nollywood should apportion the story, the time for the story or the scenes appropriately. In fact, give more time to punishment, to repercussion for that kind of action. Give more time for the consequences of actions. If someone is or got involved in ritual killings, I watched the recent one 2 days ago by Yul Edochie and the team. Yul had to everyone he gave money. That character in the movie, everyone he gave money turned to became mad. Even his mother. And then the next minute, a pastor saw him. He was going mad, and they took him to church and they prayed for him, and he became well. I now say, I'm sorry, I went this, and that was all. No, we needed to see. I was saying to myself, this is the issue. If the time you apportion for consequences are not enough to show somebody how evil, what is the consequence of evil, they won't change. Because if I believe that after everything I've done, the next 1 minute you will just shoot me, I will die. Make it be now. But if you show us how this guy suffered, like that movie with Yul Edochie, he will run mad. He will eat from the dustbin. He will be by the gates. They will tie him. You know, before your movies before used to have that kind of length. You will see him tied. They will tie him by a tree in the compound in the village. Children will come and be singing for him, poking him with stick. You know, they will use stick and poke him, pinch him. If you do all those things and people really see, so that people will cry while watching him being served the consequence of his actions, maybe these children will have a rethink and say, oh, but if it's just that at the end they will just shoot him, he will die. That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. If the Mazi Okeke in the village will just be killing, kill from his brother, all his 4 brothers who are doing well, he will kill all of them because of family land. And the next second, he will just, the next second, though, one pastor will from nowhere, Fafaran, come and there is evil in this land. Madam, you pray, and they will pray. And then the man will not say, I'm the one who did it. I killed her. Okay. Then you hear, Ewa! I killed. It is me who made not to worry. Get you say, Ewa! Then you have another person. I'm the one who make up in an accident. Obina wife will say, oh, and that was all. That's all. The man will not do. So everything this man has done, so every evil this man has committed has just gone like that. Mbano. So Prince Joseph, I'm so delighted that you're still here. Please talk to your script writers or screenwriters. Talk to them and let them apportion the time. In fact, make more elaborate the timing for the consequences of a man's wickedness. And to that, I would like to say thank you, everybody who has joined us on today's episode. And I do hope that today's episode made any meaning. You know, I do hope that it made any meaning. The times you have been with us made any meaning. Thank you so much, and see you on the next episode. Bye. Good evening. Oh my God.